Welcome to the online endorsing guide. The aim of this video is to support community pharmacy contractors with their payment claims to ensure payment accuracy. It should also help you to understand how your dispensing and endorsing actions can directly impact your payment claims. Practitioner Services Pharmacy sits within the Practitioner and Counter Fraud Services Strategic Business Unit. Our objective is to accurately pay community pharmacy contractors, based on the prescribing and dispensing information submitted to us for payment. Every month, approximately 5 million prescription forms are processed, equating to approximately 8.7 million items. Annually, we process over 100 million items and we pay over £1 billion to community pharmacies in Scotland, on behalf of the health boards. Currently we operate from 4 sites. At our scanning centre in Livingston, each prescription is scanned front and back, and an electronic image is captured and stored. After scanning, the prescription data is transferred to our processing sites in Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Glasgow. Typically, prescribing and dispensing volumes increase by approximately 3% per annum. Now we will follow the journey of a prescription, from GP practice through to payment. We will go through the paper journey and then look at the enhancements that the electronic elements bring to the process. Everyone should be familiar with the paper process. A GP prescribes and prints a prescription form. The patient takes the prescription to the pharmacy. The pharmacy dispenses against the prescription. At the end of the month, all prescriptions are submitted to Practitioner Services Pharmacy for payment. The forms are scanned at our scanning centre. Any missing data is keyed by a prescription data analyst, and the form is submitted for payment. All payments are amalgamated for your pharmacy, a payment schedule is produced, and monies due are paid. Now we will look at the electronic elements, and how they enhance the paper process. Scanning of the paper form triggers the electronic process. A GP prescribes and prints a prescription form using the GP prescribing system. An electronic prescribe message is sent to the e-pharmacy message store. The patient takes the prescription to the pharmacy. The pharmacy scans the barcode. This action retrieves the electronic prescribed data from the e-pharmacy message store. The pharmacy dispenses against the prescription using their PMR. The pharmacy then submits an electronic claim via their PMR. Both the prescribed and the dispensed data is sent to the e-pharmacy message store. The paper is submitted as usual to Practitioner Services Pharmacy. When the form containing the barcode is scanned at our scanning centre, this triggers the electronic process. The system looks to the e-pharmacy message store for a corresponding electronic claim message. These electronic messages have already passed through ePay. We will look at that next. If an electronic claim message is available, the electronic data is used and overwrites any scanned data. The data then passes through the automation engine which dictates the items that Practitioner Services Pharmacy can attempt to automate. If the data is sufficient, and automation allowed, then the information passes through for payment without any human intervention. If data is insufficient or automation is not allowed, a virtual form, displaying the electronic information, is viewed by a prescription data analyst. Pricing rules are applied, and missing data is completed. All payments are amalgamated for your pharmacy, a payment schedule is produced, and monies due are paid. ePay is a software application. ePay's main functions are to validate the dispensed item against the prescribed item, and to validate the dispensed quantity against the prescribed quantity. ePay has the logic to apply simple business rules, for example, calendar pack rules. Only when ePay validation fails, will the electronic claim data pass to a prescription data analyst for completion. Please ensure that the dispensed item and quantity in your electronic claim accurately reflects what you are claiming payment for. When automation fails and an electronic claim is available at processing, a virtual form will be presented to the prescription data analyst. Using their knowledge and experience, they will enter the missing data, and apply the pricing rules. The top left of the screen is populated with the electronic prescribed data. The bottom left of the screen is populated with the electronic dispensed data, including any electronic endorsements. The right-hand side of the screen is populated with the details of the item identified for payment. At the bottom of the screen, an error message will be displayed with the reason for automation failure. Only in the most exceptional of circumstances will a prescription data analyst look at the paper form. Electronic data is the primary source of information used for payment. This corresponding image is what a prescription data analyst would see if they had to use the form to resolve any ambiguity. This is an example of a good electronic claim, as the endorsements annotated on the paper form accurately reflect and match the electronic endorsements. Now, we are going to look at the work that has been done to ensure a high level of automation. We now attempt to automate short supply items where we get a short supply endorsement together with a special price endorsement. For AMS only, you can now edit and resubmit an electronic claim as many times as you need to, as long as the paper prescription is still with you in the pharmacy. Now there should never be an occasion where you need to score out the barcode. We now attempt to automate all installment dispensing claims, for tablets and capsules, up to a maximum of 28 installments. Please ensure endorsement information is reflected in the electronic claim, as well as on the prescription form. With the introduction of Universal Claim Framework, we now receive both prescribed and dispensed electronic data for the minor ailment service. This now provides a greater success of automation. Each month, 13,000 unique items are dispensed under the Acute Medication Service, AMS. The top 100 items cover 50% of AMS dispensing, and the top 2,000 items cover 95%. So the remaining 5% are obscure items, which are very rarely dispensed. With the exception of methadone, automation is attempted on all drugs. To improve the use of AMS and to enhance the success of automation, we work closely with Community Pharmacy Scotland, community pharmacies, and health board facilitators, to resolve any issues that a pharmacy may be experiencing. The endorsing guide can be found online and can easily be used as a reference document. We also give access to the online reporting tool, which allows contractors and health boards to check, query and view all dispensing and payment information. We support and work with all pharmacy system suppliers to ensure Scottish dispensing, endorsing and functionality requirements are met. We will now look at how an electronic claim is built up during the dispensing process, and when you need to apply an electronic endorsement. What is DM&D? DM&D stands for Dictionary of Medicines and Devices. It is a national coding structure, which allows electronic prescribed and dispensed information to be shared between general practitioners, community pharmacy, practitioner services and public health and intelligence. Prescribing, in general, is at a generic product level, without reference to either the pack size or brand. A GP may prescribe an actual branded medicine. Dispensing requires the selection of a product and pack size. In the case of branded products, the DM&D code will also identify the brand and manufacturer. When a GP prescribes a generic product known as a virtual medicinal product, this unique prescribed DM&D code will contain attributes for the product name, strength and formulation. The prescribed DM&D code is the 16-digit number printed alongside the item on the prescription form. When the community pharmacy dispenses against this item, they will most likely dispense a virtual medicinal product pack. The unique dispensed DM&D code will contain attributes for product name, strength, formulation and pack size. The dispensed DM&D code is not seen, but is contained within the electronic claim message. When a GP prescribes a branded product known as an actual medicinal product, this unique prescribed DM&D code will contain attributes for the product name, strength, formulation and brand. The prescribed DM&D code is the 16-digit number printed alongside the item on the prescription form. When the community pharmacy dispenses against this item, they will most likely dispense an actual medicinal product pack. The dispensed DM&D code will contain attributes for product name, strength, formulation, brand and pack size. The dispensed DM&D code is not seen, but is contained within the electronic claim message. A GP prescribes the generic virtual medicinal product, atorvastatin, 40 mg tablets. The unique prescribed DM&D code will contain attributes for the product name, atorvastatin, strength 40 mg and formulation tablets. A community pharmacist dispenses the virtual medicinal product pack, atorvastatin, 40 mg tablets, using 28 pack size. The unique dispensed DM&D code will contain attributes for product name, atorvastatin, strength 40 mg, formulation tablets and pack size of 28. A GP prescribes the actual medicinal product, Lipitor, 40 mg tablets. The unique prescribed DM&D code will contain attributes for the product name, Lipitor, strength 40 mg, formulation tablets and brand Pfizer. A community pharmacist dispenses the actual medicinal product pack, Lipitor, 40 mg tablets, using 28 pack size. The unique dispensed DM&D code will contain attributes for product name, Lipitor, strength 40 mg, formulation tablets, brand Pfizer and pack size of 28. Endorsing requirements. How to endorse correctly to ensure accuracy of payment. The main change to endorsing is that electronically, you no longer need to endorse the 4 standard endorsements: pack size, quantity, manufacturer, and brand. Remember, the pack size, manufacturer, and brand information are all attributes which are held within the unique dispensed DM&D code. The quantity is entered as you go through the dispensing process, and is contained within the electronic claim. The DM&D code selected contains all of the standard endorsement information. The choices you make during the dispensing process must also be annotated on the prescription form. This information can be written on the paper form by hand, or can be done via your endorsing printer. It is your responsibility to check that the information printed on the form is accurate. So just to recap, only when ePay validation fails, will the information be passed to a prescription data analyst for processing and completion. They will use the electronic data to process the claim. If there is no DM&D to choose from, then all relevant endorsement information must be provided, to assist with identifying and paying the correct item. Any additional endorsements, other than the 4 standard endorsements we have already spoken about, must be applied electronically, and also reflected on the paper prescription. Claims without electronic endorsements, containing sufficient data to be automated, will be paid from the electronic claim information. This information is available in the endorsing guide. Let's look at an example of where incorrect endorsing can cause unexpected results for the contractor. Prescription is for atenolol 100 mg tablets and a quantity of 28. Directions are 1 tablet daily and to be dispensed weekly. If you add the electronic installment dispensing endorsement of 28-4-0, but forget to annotate the endorsement on the paper form, and the electronic data is not available, then using the form, we will only pay for 28 atenolol tablets and no installments. If we take the same example but this time you write the 28-4-0 on the paper form, but forget to apply the electronic installment dispensing endorsement, and the electronic data is available, then the form is not used, and we will only pay for 28 atenolol tablets and no installments. Remember, electronic endorsements must match the paper endorsements and vice versa. This format is exactly what you will find in the endorsing guide. You will have an example of the prescription form, and a box stating the electronic and paper endorsing requirements. This pack size example demonstrates when we have more than 1 pack available for dispensing, and what the requirements are, for both electronic and paper endorsements. Here we have a prescription for cephalexin 250 mg capsules and a quantity of 28 to be dispensed. Cephalexin 250 mg capsules has 2 packs available, a 28-pack and a 100-pack. Electronically, all you have to do is choose the 28-pack size for dispensing. This chosen pack information will be determined by the selected dispensed DM&D code, however you must annotate the paper form with the chosen pack used. If the electronic data was not available to us and we had to use the paper form for processing payment, then in the absence of a 28-pack size endorsement on the form, Practitioner Services Pharmacy would pay from the cost-effective pack, which is the 100-pack. Therefore, payment for this item will be less than expected. This quantities supplied example demonstrates when we make a change to the prescribed quantity and what the requirements are, for both electronic and paper endorsements. Here we have a prescription for cimetidine 400 mg tablets and a quantity of 56 to be dispensed. During the dispensing process, if you decide that you are going to dispense the complete pack of 60, on your PMR, you must change or enter the dispensed quantity to 60. If the electronic data was not available to us and we had to use the paper form for processing payment, then in the absence of a Q60 endorsement on the form, Practitioner Services Pharmacy would only pay the prescribed quantity of 56. This short supply example demonstrates what the requirements are for both electronic and paper endorsements. Here we have a prescription for gabapentin 300 mg capsules and a quantity of 100 to be dispensed. There are 2 ways in which we can deal with items in short supply. One option is to dispense a branded product. In this example, you could choose Neurontin 300 mg as your dispensed item and apply the electronic SHS short supply endorsement. SHS and Neurontin must also be annotated on the paper form. If the electronic data was not available to us and we had to use the paper form for processing payment, in the absence of the SHS and Neurontin endorsements, Practitioner Services Pharmacy would pay gabapentin 300 mg, from Part 7 of the Scottish Drug Tariff. Or the other option, is to source the generic product from a supplier and claim back the cost, usually at an inflated price. In this example, electronically we can leave the dispensed item as gabapentin 300 mg and apply the SHS short supply endorsement, then apply an SPE special price endorsement, entering the price only for the quantity you are dispensing, excluding any VAT. If you have incurred any postage and packing or handling charge, then an out-of-pocket expense OXP endorsement must also be applied electronically. Short supply, special price and any out-of-pocket expense information must be annotated on the paper form. If the electronic data was not available to us and we had to use the paper form for processing payment, then in the absence of SHS, SPE and OXP, Practitioner Services Pharmacy would pay gabapentin 300 mg, from Part 7 of the Scottish Drug Tariff. We will now cover guidance on best practice for submitting accurate claims, to ensure correct reimbursement. Do not score out or deface barcodes. With the introduction of flexible claiming, there is absolutely no reason for a contractor to destroy a barcode. Scored-out barcodes mean Practitioner Services Pharmacy cannot retrieve electronic prescribed data. Edit or resubmit your electronic claim if something in the electronic claim requires changing. What you select as your dispensed item is what you are asking to be paid for. Claim regularly. Best practice is to claim daily. It is important to ensure that all your electronic claims are sent, prior to prescription forms being scanned by our scanning center. This will maximize your chance of qualifying for the quality and efficiency Q&E payment. Don't score out the barcode to force pay from paper, just don't send the electronic claim. Full high completion non-gluten-free and smoking cessation is mandatory. How to understand your electronic dispensing data, and what your electronic claim message shows. Extensible Markup Language, XML, is a language that defines a set of rules for encoding documents, in a format that is both human-readable and machine-readable. In order for this to be successful, the information must be set out in a structure so each computer or human knows where to find or expect specific data. For each electronic claim you submit, via your PMR, an XML file is created. The XML structure of a claim message can be seen here, and the structure does not change. Only the data. So working through the XML. Firstly we will find the prescriber details, then the dispenser details. Next we find the patient information. We then see the first prescribed item and below that the first dispensed item information. Then, if there is another item, the second prescribed and second dispensed information up to a maximum of 3 prescribed items. Right at the foot of the XML we see patient, rep, paid information, which is no longer required but has not been removed from any XMLs. If you are interested in learning more or viewing your XML claim messages, you should contact your IM&T Health Board facilitator. This is an example of how the dispensed information is displayed within the XML. It shows the dispensed information for item 1. The drug dictionary is DMD, and the version is April 2017. Next is the dispensed DMD code. The dispensed item is Persentin retard, 200 mg capsules. This is followed by the instructions for use. Then, the quantity value dispensed. The unit of measure is capsule. We can also see that the dispenser has added a QSP, quantities supplied endorsement of 60, but this is the exact same quantity recorded in the quantity value dispensed field. This endorsement is surplus to requirements, and not needed. Finally, the XML claim message also lets us identify the responsible pharmacist signed into the PMR, when specific claims were sent. For further information, please contact the ePharmacy Help Desk, or refer to the online endorsing guide.